Today on Pop Culture Unboxing, we're going to talk about how Ryan is going to die and go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's
Ryan, why are you going to hell? Discuss.
Oh boy. Do you want me to start? How
Yeah.
far do you want me to start?
Now.
I want to start with the petty things
Like,
that you don't really
What have
understand.
I done right now to go to hell? Or
Don't
what
sweat the petty things. Don't pet the sweaty things.
Don't. Did you make that up? Is that your own thing? Or did you steal that from
I've
someone?
stolen that.
You stole that?
Yeah.
I want to start keeping like a catalog of all the stuff you've stolen and came up with yourself to see how much of an original comedian you are.
I'm not original. I don't know how you have ever thought that.
I mean, I always thought you were original. So
don't-
your funniness is fake.
I was
So
going
I
to
wouldn't
say,
say it's
You're
fake.
just as fake as I am.
You try to deliver.
You're a phony.
You try to deliver
A
these
big,
jokes
fat
as well as I
phony.
do.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys know me well enough, but pretty much every joke that I tell is another joke that I have heard before, and I feel like is a great time for this situation, and I'm almost always wrong.
Yeah. Quick
Wait, Zach,
can I have a quick question?
welcome back, by
Well,
the way,
hang
Zach.
on. Quick
Zach,
question.
Ryan,
Who are
Ryan,
you?
shut up. Ryan,
You shut up.
Ryan, shut up.
Shut up, Matt.
Zach, welcome
hey,
back.
who are you? Did you
Noam
really?
Chomsky.
See, this is why no one thinks I'm funny. Because anytime I get a chance to start jokes, you just throw it under the bus. You're like, well, Ryan can't be funny today.
I'll handle it.
This is take my spotlight.
Hand me the funny stick. I'll do the funny.
You're the one I'm on stage about to tell the joke, and you have that little cane thing. It pulls me off yanks me off the side of the
I
stage.
was going to say, who do you want me to be today? Because I can talk like this, and I can be like John Mulaney, you know, that guy.
That doesn't sound like John Mulaney. It's really this is one of those moments where I think you're lying to me, and you actually listen to the episode because we did talk about doing impressions in one episode.
Yeah, we
that you were
did.
gone.
Oh no, that's anytime I start doing things like if I ever have to like get into like explanation mode, I go to my uncle and I'm like, all right, what are you doing? This is what we're doing. And there's this weird little cadence that he does, and he talks, and then he tells you that you're stupid. Great.
What?
So
Why
like
is
for
it
some reason
anytime I hear
just,
the word uncle, I shiver a little bit. I think like the world has turned that word
Do you have
into
some
I was gonna say
No,
you
what
got
I'm
some
saying-
memories
What
back
I
there
think
you
what
need to-
happened is now I've heard the jokes about uncles being like dirty perverts all the time. That now it literally anytime I hear the word uncle, I just shiver. It's like, those are disgusting people.
Oh, that's weird
I
because
never want to be an uncle. And then I
I
I
realized
love my uncles very much. And
I was
they're
gonna say
all good people.
in my life, all my uncles are great.
recording yet? Yes.
What?
welcome to Pop Culture Unboxing, everybody. Zach's back.
What's up, guys?
You are back.
I know it's great.
Where were you?
I was locked in the depths of hell, known as my job.
Wow.
Do we
Same.
Did we tell him about our theories?
Oh,
Well, which
theories?
ones? Because there's a lot that happened.
I need
There
to know.
were.
You go first.
Give
Go
him the
ahead.
highlights. You start.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Well, my favorite portions of it is we were
Portions?
portions. We were taking. Were they both Disney films? Right? They were both Disney films.
I think so. Yeah.
We were turning Disney films and writing our own I guess you want to say crappy live action.
I think
skits.
you're going further. Go further back, so he has the context of this.
I can't remember the first one. They were so.
It was a
disturbing.
text he sent.
It was a text I sent.
A text. You said.
Remember the text he sent?
See, I
saying
think
why he couldn't be
think
there?
These creeped me out. So, that's right. We turned you into a monster. That's right. So you sent
into
us
a
a text the one because the one day you could come, but you said you had things come up. You were unable because you had to go do a charity event, right? For wrapping presents for kids.
Oh yeah.
But the way your text message said back to me, I interpreted it, or at least I didn't really, but I took it this way, as in you were kidnapping kids and wrapping them as gifts. So we created a whole story of what you were of the monster you really are. Is you're out there and just kidnapping children and putting them into presents, like a weird Krampus.
What you don't know is that Epstein didn't kill himself. I am Epstein.
You are. Oh well, that's.
And
gonna,
I'm also doing
and
Operation
that's gonna come
Christmas
back to
Child
bite you.
Boxes.
Yeah, child boxes.
And so we extrapolated
Child
that to
boxes.
mean you're putting children in boxes. Yeah.
Putting children in boxes.
Uh-huh. And then that spawned the orphan cinematic universe.
Yep, the Orphan Cinematic Universe. So did we start with
man.
Lady and the Tramp?
Uh-huh.
And then what was the next one we went to? Because we went from Lady
And
and
then
the
didn't we
Tramp.
go to Balto?
Yeah, so I thought they
I-
were the same episode.
can be
And then
Balto?
Oliver and Company came up.
That's
It
right.
was all in the same bit.
Yeah, so there was
I
one.
was gonna say Balto and Oliver and Company.
What did we try to
I
make?
mess with.
What did
I'm
we
good with.
try to make the second episode? Well, we'll get there. So we we created a cinematic universe basically stretching off from the idea that kids in boxes, and we thought of Lady and the Tramp because what's the most famous scene from Lady and the Tramp? Yes, it's the spaghetti section where they're eating spaghetti off a box. Well, then we were like, what happens if like wasn't it
there's
late?
a kid
We
in
made
there,
Lady.
the kid comes out.
No, that wasn't the logic of the scene was that you were putting children in boxes to give them to people as presents. Mm-hmm. And then my first thought was the dog in the box at the beginning of Lady and the Tramp.
That's right. So then Lady,
Oh.
because Lady, instead of basically every scene happens in Lady and the Tramp the same, except instead of it being a dog, it's a human baby. But a human baby that actually makes out with a dog in that spaghetti scene. And then we got into talks about how their child would look, because the second one, what's the second Lady and the Tramp called?
Scamp's Revenge or something like that.
Scamp's Revenge. Probably would be in this kind of scenario. But Scamp's Adventure. So we somehow led that down to be that would be Balto. And Balto is just that kid. They're like Lady and their human dog hybrid, but it turns out to be Balto, because do you know what the story of Balto is, right?
Yeah. Balto spent all that time taking all those vaccines, and now we won't do it.
So Balto is now just a human, half dog hybrid monster. Which, after I thought about
how
it,
does this happen to Balto?
I
Was he ever in a
forgot
box?
about the old meme of the anime dog and the girl fusing together. So it's just like, that must be what he looks like. But
I got
Chimera.
I got to be honest with you. I'm really
talking
enjoying this
chimera.
Sparks Notes version where we're like, yeah, you said that you're doing kids boxes.
it's
so
really
we've
great that we
decided
don't remember, so we're changing the story. This is how real films get made.
Now Zach's regretting not having listened to the episodes.
I was going to say, this podcast really went downhill in the last month, hasn't it?
Well,
It really has. You haven't been here to ground us.
Dude, I wrote
I'll
like
say, am I such a boring character that I bring you guys into like normal funny
kinda
mode?
because we wrote a script.
Ryan, Zach, I don't think you're boring.
We wrote scripts for the episode of what we were going to talk about, show notes, and never once did we talk about the show. We tried.
I think it's between both hour-long episodes, 10 minutes total was dedicated to what was actually on the show notes.
Also, we now go to an hour. This format we're doing. This
Yeah.
is pretty much how it's going to be the whole.
For the next hour?
Yeah, because we're just going to talk and keep making.
Okay, because this is great.
Remember the Halloween guy, the guy. So there's a guy we're trying to get on the show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we found his Instagram, which I don't know if you remember. I was sending a bunch of weird photos from someone's Instagram. Those are all from the same person, because Matt taught me about this man.
Well,
and as I rolled through I kept looking at his Instagram, and I was like, this guy keeps getting more and more interesting.
I was going to say, I've
say
learned
his-
not to open up messages from you guys.
You want to say his
Dick
Well, yeah.
Warlock is his
Dick
name.
Warlock is his name, his actual name.
Yep.
And he's also a badass.
Very powerful.
He's
But his Instagram is a trip, because like 15 pictures are like horror movie references, and then every 16th picture is of some girl.
some girl in like
Very
a
scantily
bikini,
clad.
yeah, bikini
Why?
model or something like that. I don't know.
'Cause
He's like a man in his like 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
It was a different time back then.
Yeah. But he's very powerful, and we want to have him on the show.
I mean,
What?
He lives in
Ohio.
Cincinnati, I
yeah,
think.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
So we're going to drive him 3 hours to Pittsburgh.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Since you've got experience putting kids in boxes, I feel like it's nothing different than the old people.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just go to
And
Cincinnati.
I worked in an old folks' home. Kids and old people are no different.
So then we
So-
just
so-
throw him in
so-
a box, bring him here, and start
So-
put a mic in front of him.
so just for clarity, I was doing Operation Christmas Child.
Christmas child. Wait a minute. What?
That's okay.
That was
Yeah,
not putting
let
kids
him
in
explain
boxes.
this.
Let me go ahead and make a cinematic
So-
universe out of that, please.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I do think that it is over now because you had to ship your boxes by now. But every year we do Operation Christmas Child, which is you get shoebox sized, or you get a shoebox and fill it with toys for kids for certain ages, and boy or girl, and then they ship
have a
it out
question.
to all these different kids that might not have a Christmas. Go for it.
Is the shoebox thing a reference to the Newsboys song Christmas Shoes?
I don't think so, but it might be.
It's a terrible song.
I just
I
the
also don't
only
listen
thing
to
that
news.
That concludes my
you
questions.
just said all
Thank
that
you.
stuff to me, and all I registered is that Zach is definitely getting into heaven.
Yeah.
there's not even a doubt in my
I think
mind.
we've been very open about the fact that Zach is the best of us.
He's good.
He is our moral center.
He is so much better than I am as a person.
He wouldn't have let us get into the Orphan Cinematic Universe, which is deeply horrifying if you think about it.
Just says a lot about us as people.
I think it
and you
does.
know what? What's going to happen is we're going to get famous. Oh, we did talk about what it's going to be like when we get famous.
Hold on. I need to address this first. If I'm the standard, we are screwed.
He's pretty
Don't
right.
tell us that.
like I look at myself, I'm like, oh man, here's a flaw, there's a flaw, here's a flaw. I really need to
Well,
work
I
on
don't
this.
consider myself flawed. I just realized that on the moral compass,
Just realized there's a very selective audience for us.
Yeah.
and
I don't
it's not
necessarily
a good
think it's-
audience to
At
be
a certain
corrupted.
point in every episode, like me and or Ryan take a hard left turn, and it's getting earlier and earlier to the point that without you, the hard left turn takes place before we start recording.
Oh, that makes sense because I'm just right of Attila the Hun, so that's probably why I bring you guys
There you
back
go.
to the
Yep,
center.
the moment he hits play, we've already hit the point of no return. When it's just me and you.
Stalin would be proud.
But that's fun. That's actually kind of funny because look at how the difference we have become. Like when we first started, and then you look back at like when we first started, when the left turns never came. Now it's like 4 or 5 left and right turns. We're swerving so much. We're like controlling who lives and dies on this
Dude,
road.
if you go back to Red Steak Sauce, other than the audio quality being awful, we sound like we're on NPR. Like we're just very, very politely reporting on what's been happening in pop culture that we care about.
That's funny.
And with almost no like comedy or anything like that.
That statement's going to come back to haunt us someday.
How so?
Because once upon a time, because we're going to be interviewed, right? Someone's going to interview us. She's like, Matt, one time you said you guys were NPR. What happened? And then we're just going to look at each other and be like, we shouldn't be alive. That's why. We shouldn't be alive. I am going to be honest. That Disney
NPR.
stuff, that's going to come back to haunt us
It
someday.
is.
The Lady and the Tramp one is definitely going to come
The
back.
fact that I have a recording of you doing the aristocrats joke is going to come back to haunt you at some point, I feel like. Even if
yeah.
I don't release it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot of things I have said on this mic. That is
I know. That's what I
do
dread.
gotta say,
I dread the Patreon happening because I'm going to have to go through every one of those pre-shows to
And edit
screen
them.
them
How about we
because I
just-
know we talked about some horrible things
Can we
on
just
that.
not release them?
No,
We have to
it's-
release them.
And to
But
be honest with you, a
we'll be
lot of the
selective.
stuff that we talked about
Let's
wasn't
just-
even horrible. It was
listen.
just opinionated, and people don't like opinions.
If
No.
there's anything that is said,
Certain opinions.
just that is effed up, or that one of us says, we just all have to agree that we stand for each other's backs. Like if we're like if the Twitter mob is coming after us, we also are in that mob fighting back together, back
Yeah.
to back, or we don't go at all.
Yeah.
Like, you're going, we all go down.
Yeah, and then those pre-shows, maybe the worst of the worst pre-shows will be reserved, and it's like our in our basement we have our private stash. Like, these are our.
There's just a little flash drive that says the forbidden notes. Like,
This is pop
sacred
culture
text.
unboxing private label.
the black label just underneath. All right, we should talk about some stuff because this is kind of this is a dark episode.
You
in
need
a
to
way.
intro this one because I feel like me and Zach have different opinions than you do. At least my
Can you
initial
turn your
vibe.
computer around? Real
So
quick?
this may
Is it
be
possible that I
this
can
may be a
see-
very, very bad time to mention this,
Not easily.
but I have no clue what we're talking about today.
Never mind.
That's fine.
I'll try to get the show notes up.
Tom and
somehow.
Jerry, new trailer for a movie they're doing of it. Looks terrible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I agree, but like I
okay.
said, the only thing that I liked about it is the fact that they did what like Clifford the dog is not doing. Clifford the dog is like obviously a big red dog. That's a trailer
Yeah.
that came out, and people
Did
are,
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And- well, not a trailer.
It's
but
gonna
a
get the
teaser.
Sonic treatment.
Oh no.
Yeah, and basically because we've taught the community that if you just complain loud enough, the studio could change it. That they probably already have a better version of it. Just they're just like free marketing. Let's go.
Yeah.
But no, Clifford the dog looks really bad because they like show him next to other dogs, and you're like, well, that looks bad. At least in this one, all the animals are animated. The people aren't, which
Yeah.
in some cases I wish most of them were.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
But
they got a lot of names for it.
that's the thing. I'm
lot of-
starting to think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
the
sitting there.
Tom and
I'm
Jerry.
I'm
like
hoping that
names,
this means that like COVID just affected their job ability too, because some of these names, there's no way someone looked at them and said, "Tom and Jerry, this is a
Name
good
any of the
career
actors
move."
in that trailer.
I don't even know any of their names.
There's the one guy from Ant-Man that does all the
name him.
the breakdowns.
Name him.
Oh, I don't.
Ryan, you should
I'm
stop
bad with
looking it
names
up.
to begin with. That's
Stop.
not a
I'm trying
reflection
to
on
get to.
him.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
to Google Drive.
I'll say that's not a reflection on him. I'm bad with names to begin with.
Michael
I'm better-
Pena. Or Pena.
him. Yeah, he's funny.
I always get him
And do
mixed
you know
up.
who the girl is?
Not Ellen Page.
No. Elliot
Oh, that's
Page.
another thing that happened.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
That was Chloe Grace Moretz.
Chloe
Moritz.
Grace Moritz.
Something like that.
She owns the Moritz
She
crackers.
She,
Moritz.
is
What
she
a-
the foreign?
is she? Ritz
she's been
crackers.
acting for forever. She was
Kick Ass 1 and 2.
Kick-Ass. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was in.
Ken Jeong's on it.
Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
Kim
So
Jong-un?
is the guy from Deadpool 2.
Which one?
Ryan Reynolds.
The one who... The dude who flies into the power... Or the normal dude who joins the X-Force.
Oh yeah, like
Oh,
the dad.
yeah, the cab driver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I
that's
saw
who
the flyer. I
the
thought
one
it'd be
dude
great.
in it is.
Huh. Yeah, it looks really bad. I think
It
it's
does.
gonna be
The
stupid.
parts of the people look really bad.
But here's the
The
thing,
couple
though.
bits of slapstick they had of Tom and Jerry were clever, and I really liked them.
Well, and that's kind of one of the things. Like I think I mentioned before, it was like it looks good, but I think you clarified it better. Is that the parts with just Tom and Jerry look good, and then it's as soon as they bring it into like this blended world, it's like I
think it's because
weird.
there's a nostalgia. There's like a nostalgia portion of our brain that sees Tom and Jerry. Because I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry. That stuff looks good. Also, I think it's this film is going to be good for kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are not people that should be critiquing movie. Like the last movie I watched someone's intestines be ripped out and choked, like strangling them.
Okay.
That's not true. That's just something that came to my mind. I don't-
Okay. Now Ryan's lying to us.
but no, like
the last guy I killed. I mean, movie I watched.
They all blend together.
See what you did there? Now that's gonna come
Movies
back. and
smell
haunt
so
me.
realistic these
We're gonna be
days.
famous. We're gonna have our own panel. Someone's gonna ask us a question about something. I'm gonna not remember this discussion, and I'm be like, "Well, did that happen?" I'm not gonna answer quick enough. I'm not gonna answer quick enough, and the police are gonna come, and I'm gonna get arrested.
People talk about having skeletons in your closet. Ryan literally has
Is-
skeletons in his closet.
One of them's name is George.
Oh yeah,
George
Costanza. I think he's still alive.
George Costanza?
Huh?
No, he's not alive anymore. Died
Are you
last
sure?
year.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's
Google
sad.
that to find out if I'm right, because I
That's
don't. I don't
sad.
know. Call my bluff, please. I don't know if that's true.
It's
I
like
don't
finding out that Big Fluffy was dead, then finding out that he also found out that morning that he was dead.
This is the shake-up problems. Is I just say yes or no to certain things. I don't know if he's dead or not. I don't know that.
No, he's not dead.
See, I don't. Clearly, I didn't
Well,
know,
and
but
that's
I
like-
just say yes
He
because
tweeted 5 hours ago.
from his
Hey
coffin.
man, we don't know what happened between now and then.
Wait.
Yeah, he wasn't dead 5 hours ago, but is he dead now?
Wait,
That'd
let me
be
make sure
really-
this is the same guy.
That would be really screwed up, though.
It
if
is.
it did come out that he just died, like it was announced,
was
he
like an
died
hour
an hour ago. I'd be like, "Whoa,
Like, oh,
I
all
am
right.
psychic."
No, I got that off of a press conference. It was
You
probably
seem
one of the
creeped
funniest
out
things I've
by
ever
him.
seen.
What's wrong? What's wrong with George Costanza?
So his most recent tweet, as of 5 hours ago, is a screenshot from randomfacts.app with a link to a facts app from iTunes.
well, that's gonna hurt you.
And it says, depending on the position a person is in when they die, it's possible for the body to get an erection after death.
What?
And then he added his commentary to it saying, followed quickly upon by significant shrinkage.
Is he just
I don't
setting it
know.
up so that nobody
I
makes
found
fun of
And
him
this
when they
thing,
find
had
him?
this thing had 8 retweets, 1 quote tweet, and 241 likes. I feel like one of the stars of Seinfeld would have gotten more engagement. But
But
also, why are you tweeting something like that, Jason Alexander?
dude, I think we have some problems. If
do.
those people get famous, we have no problem. I mean, the people that are tweeting me, I'm almost certain are not real people. But
This is. Well, I was going to say this is. I'll be
told-
honest with you. I lost my thought.
I told
Just
someone.
completely.
I'll tell you my thought. I told Matt about this, but you didn't. I didn't tell you this because you weren't here yet.
You might not.
I'm deeply uncomfortable right now. Let me just
About this
try,
way.
You still
try to-
disturbed by
try
the
to
tweet?
think this off.
So
George Costanza was always a role model for me.
so Twitter. So obviously I have a Twitter and I've been posting random things. I just post random things that come
Yeah,
to
I noticed
mind
you've been posting a lot more.
because I
I'm
think
bad
that's
at
what you're
putting out
supposed to
things.
do. with Twitter.
I like them once in a while.
But I posted in one that I said, like, when I was 14 or 15 in basketball practice, I got pants, and I still haven't mentally recovered from it.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
I
true.
remember that
Which
one.
is true. I still think about it daily. About all of the things. But the comments that I got on it, first of all, were the most comments I got in any tweet. So that's weird. That's already different. But there are people that just now started following me. But all the questions they asked me, like the one dude asked me was it a boxers or brief thing? Never even noticed that his Twitter handle was boxers or briefs. But his thing is like Jess or Kevin or something. He has like a really handsome man.
That's
as
funny.
his like
Instead of
profile.
boxers or briefs thing.
And I said, and I was like, I think I said back to it was like it was boxers, SpongeBob boxers or something. Because at this point, I'm like, I'm lying to you. I don't remember what boxers I was wearing. Why would I remember that? That's not the part that's depressing. It's the fact that all of my basketball team laughed at me. That's probably the.
So, speaking to what you just said there, because I think it's rather interesting, and maybe we'll run this experiment, and maybe the people out here can like tweet at us if this happened. Think of the most embarrassing thing you did in high school. I guarantee you, both of you just thought of something super
I
embarrassing.
didn't go to high school.
That's true. He was homeschooled.
Well, that's going to be even more embarrassing.
Well, does it
Not really.
like the most embarrassing? They all kind of mix together.
Well,
My
like-
whole life is embarrassing.
Well, what I think is interesting is usually people think of like a specific thing that they did, and like if you just throw out that general like trigger, you're gonna think, oh man, I said that one thing to that one girl that one time, and they probably don't even care anymore.
Probably the one time I tried to ask a girl out and instead I ran right into her locker. That's probably like the most embarrassing
That's so
that's ever
great.
happened.
That
to me.
tracks.
That's probably like I
Ugh.
slipped on a Capri Sun or something like that and smacked right into her locker.
I think.
Oh no! I know what the most embarrassing thing was to me. I asked a foreign girl out to prom, one of our German exchange students out to prom, and I didn't. Someone else asked her for me because I was a loser. But when he said my name, Ryan Beatty. This is where Ryan Beatty, the name comes back and haunts me. She thought I was.
He said your name.
No, she said. Well, no, like the guy asked her, told her my name. Like,
Oh.
Ryan Beatty wants to go out, and she replied back, "The singer." No, I don't want to go out with that ugly monster. And then he came back and didn't tell me the singer part. I didn't find that out until afterwards. I was like, this girl just called me an ugly monster. And then I got mad and I wrote some really mean thing to her. And then she's just like, oh, you're not the singer. Also, you're kind of an asshole.
Like, great.
And then
got worse.
he just, the nicest man in the world, goes to me and says, oh, I forgot. Yeah, she thinks you're like a Justin Bieber singer. I'm like, that's kind of a big thing to keep out.
I think the best part of that is like the first part is like it's like, hey, that's something I can't change. Like you're just a jerk. And the next one was like, oh yeah, you're an asshole. Which is like, hey, guess what? I don't even like your character.
That's a lot
It's
for,
like,
and that's a
wow.
lot because it's a German exchange student. They have to deal with a lot of mean people. So like
Oh, yeah.
the fact that she thought I was the asshole.
Hey, you here to start any more world wars?
Oh,
I'm sorry, that was probably a little too far.
Zach, reel him in.
Took me a
Is
sec.
it real?
So I think my most embarrassing story was I was really anxious when I was in I was really anxious like all through high school, and like I really wanted to tell a story about like when we were playing games online. There was some guy that we were playing with that was actually over in England, and I wanted to tell the story that he was talking about, but I couldn't find a way to like entertainingly bring in the story naturally. And I was like, yeah, so I was playing games with a guy in England, and they actually speak English over there. And then like right after I said it, I was like, why did I say that? And then I got more anxious about like finishing my story, and I just froze. And it was just like, wow, this is the most awkward moment of my life.
See,
That is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you.
No, you gotta understand. I
smacked
never
my
put
face
myself...
into a locker in front of a girl, and you're like, I said the English people speak
and
English.
I'm sitting here thinking like that is through and through something I would say and totally mean it. Like just because it's real life.
Yeah, but I'm
Like,
just sitting there.
that's
and
just
I'm
how
like,
I am. Is saying stupid stuff like that.
I think. Can you think about what the most embarrassing thing in your whole life has been? Not like in just high school, because I can tell you what one of mine is, and it, to this day, definitely has kept me up at night sometimes.
Okay.
Go for it.
You want me to tell you?
We're having real
have you
talk
ever
today
heard
on
of-
pop culture unboxing.
Have you ever heard of the virus protector thing called Kaspersky?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
One of the garbage ones.
Well, yeah. Well,
Kaspersky, at least we're not a vast.
I did play it off really well, though. I was able to like save it at the end. But for a
Okay.
good second there, if I wasn't clever, would have been real bad. When I first was writing it, I read it as the word Casper Sky. I'm like, so this is called Casper Sky. I wrote a night, like the first ever like project in college I ever worked really hard on. Like I was like, this is the greatest slideshow ever. I'm so excited. I put a little picture of Casper, the friendly ghost, to the side of the title. And I put like a picture of the sky. I was like, this is so cringy and awesome. I can't wait. And I went up on stage and I said Casper Sky. And then someone in the audience just looked at me and just said, he's like, you mean Kaspersky? And I was like, I like looked at the word and then I looked back. I was like, yeah, but I like to call it Casper Sky. And I just kept yelling like Casper and a picture of the sky. And they're all like, and so many people were laughing and thought it was the funniest joke I ever made, but they didn't realize the truth. So on the inside, I'm like, yeah, it was a really good joke. And I'm crying on the inside.
That is so funny. Well, if it makes you feel any better, this may actually make you feel better. That's actually
I don't think a lot of things will make me feel better.
Well, no, if you think about it, that's actually a really cool thing that you did because you didn't know how to pronounce something and you learned about something that you didn't know before. Like I have,
okay, that's true.
Like for example, like if you were going to say majority, like a majority of people think this. Like when my girlfriend was growing up, she never talked to anybody about those kind of things, and she was learning, and she was reading these things, so she thought majority was majority.
Majority.
She still says it majority because she had never had anybody else pronounce it for her.
Uncultured
So
swine.
she learned it on her own. And to me, if somebody mispronounces something, I'm like, okay, you're learning something on your own. Like, that's actually a good thing. Like, it's not something to be embarrassed about at all.
That's why I never say anything I don't know how to pronounce.
It's funny
You know
because
what?
you mispronounced it.
You know what would probably be the worst thing ever?
The good, Zach got
I got the joke.
Zach got the joke. What a champion over there! Oh my god, I'm so proud of him.
Rein him in,
Are you
Zach.
proud of him too, Ryan?
I'm very proud of
Oh, our boy, he's back.
It was one of those things.
Boy.
And just in time before this show stops be called Pop Culture Unboxing, just called Two Idiots Talk About Life.
Two?
Or right. Two. Yeah, because we're two. 1, 2. You're 1, I'm 2. I'm 1, you're 2. He was gone. What I'm saying is, if he would have been gone forever,
I was
For
gonna say,
our
I
audio
can't tell-
listeners, as he was saying, I slowly just pointed at Zach.
I was gonna say, like, I can't tell if I'm like being fired or if I'm being complimented as not an idiot.
I was too busy. Are we not allowed to talk about it yet? All right, you're fired.
All right,
Are we
guys.
allowed to talk about
Did
it
you
now?
hear it? Did you tell what I was trying to say?
I know. I just saw the word "fired" in your mouth. I just said, "All right, you're
That
fired."
wasn't the F word I was
What
saying.
I don't stop. You're
right,
bad
whatever.
at lip reading, or you're bad at lip signing. That looks like, it's like you're trying to chew mashed
I think you're trying
potatoes.
to. You say you're trying to fornicate with the sky?
It really
Do you ever
does.
cough so hard that you get lightheaded? Because that just happened.
It looked like you were trying to chew a bunch of hubba bubba gum. Like,
It is
Oh
so
my
great.
God.
That
this show is not going to stay pop culture
It's
unboxing.
not.
It's about to get its
This
name
is not-
changed.
There's nothing about pop culture. We talked about Tom and Jerry a little bit. Ellen Page is now Elliot Page, surprising no one.
Well, what I think is what's really hard is that
I'm
there's
going to
not
try
a
to
ton
be
of.
careful with this one. That's what one's going to haunt me for days.
Well, okay, go. Wait. I want to hear him.
I just
his
want to
input
say
on this
something.
now. I was
say,
going to let this all go.
it's
I was
real-
going to let that little bit be it. But now you've tempted me.
Yeah, I was gonna say
First of all-
it's rather difficult to do pop culture at the moment because everything is so delayed or pushed back. It's
True.
like, what do
I
you?
mean, this month we're getting Wonder Woman soon.
True.
Wonder Woman's coming out soon on HBO Max or in theaters, which I don't know why that part of that word
Well,
exists.
if I'm anything like the
sentence
average
exists.
person, like I get most of my pop culture news from you guys, and then I just have an opinion on it, which is honestly how I do it.
Which
Yeah.
is weird because I feel like I know nothing about pop
Like
culture.
I had no clue that there was another Wonder Woman coming out. No clue.
What?
I was this minute old when I found that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was supposed to come out in the summer.
I'm still stuck.
What
on
are your thoughts on Elliot Page?
No. Well, can I say something for like a warning to the fans? Please don't send me Casper memes. I'll bet.
You know,
because I know that's gonna
I'll
happen.
speak for the fans right now.
Wait.
It didn't cross my mind until you just said that.
I don't
No,
understand.
because it's gonna happen.
I'm
It was
missing-
gonna happen. Well, first
I'm
of all, we
missing
don't have any
information.
fans.
You
but
can
they're
send
go-
them to me, and I will forward
they're
them to
gonna
him,
go back
to him
and
because he
listen-
can't fire me.
I have the equipment here.
I have the laptop.
I'll buy a new laptop.
Good luck making the show without me.
I'm the reason they're here.
Your hair is all messed up, so it looks like you're like a psychopathic scientist trying to tell me, like, good luck making
I haven't
this
been able to
bomb.
tame this stuff. It's gotten, I forgot about that. It's getting to my hair's getting into the length where it's impossible to keep it under control.
You know what you're starting to look like? That guy with the aliens thing. That's what it looks like.
How were the pyramids made?
Aliens.
Aliens. All right. What are your thoughts on Elliot Page, Ryan?
So I don't know. Maybe I don't understand. I mean, this whole stuff is so hard to follow, but I feel like she contradicted herself already.
She, her?
Well, him, her. This is the problem. I don't know because I thought being what the identifying terms of transgender non-binary meant, like you were not female or male. I thought that was someone please tell me this. I seriously do want to know. No jokes, all jokes aside, I actually do want to know the difference because here's the thing. This kind of stuff still interests me because it's something I don't know, so I want to learn. Yeah. If you can teach me. But I was under the impression that meant
Can I twist your words, please?
that I couldn't say they or
Ryan,
I couldn't say
please,
he.
Ryan, can I
her,
please twist your words?
Him, like any of those.
I'll let
terms.
Matt go first
I thought you
before
had
I
to
step
say
in.
they, this.
So I would like
them.
to point out that Ryan has just said that he is interested in being transgender. He is interested in transgender
something
and
I'm
would like to know
interested
more
in.
about the process.
I see what he did there.
Okay. Well, someone.
What is your preferred pronouns? That's the word I was thinking.
Well,
Man.
I've been
See,
reliably
that's the thing.
informed
I
by
don't-
Maisie Hirono
okay,
that preferred
well, here's the
is
thing.
not good.
This is how I get completely canceled because I'm going to go into this joke with you for a little bit. I don't know.
I'm not joking.
That's why I'm asking to know what the terms are because I don't even know any of this stuff anymore. I just found out that more letters got added to the LGBTQ thing. Now there's other letters
Oh
apparently.
yeah, there's always.
Oh,
they just
that's
added
what
a
that's
plus
what the
to it.
plus was. Is
Yeah.
because they have so many that they
So
can't
I
go down the
didn't-
list.
So I honestly didn't know that. I didn't,
what ends up happening is that there's so many. What you end up doing is you create so many variations that eventually some of them are going to be in conflict with each other, and that's why it makes it kind of difficult to reliably know what's what.
yeah.
And it's one of those things where you have an actual thing. People are trans, and whether you can get into whether that's good or bad or whatever. It's
I
a
don't
thing.
think I don't
there.
think it's bad, or I think it's fine. Like, but I don't know all the terms and stuff. I don't.
Well, and
I don't
that's kind
know
of
all
the
this
thing.
stuff.
Like,
and it's
and
really
that's
hard
good to ask the question
But
because
it's really hard to find that information, as I discovered. Like, there's a website to tell you that information, but everything changes so rapidly, and so much misinformation is led. I have no idea what it means because the last thing I knew is, like I said, is I didn't think him, her, his, like those kinds of terms were how you would say to Elliot. Like I thought you would say.
That's what that's what he said. Is the pronouns are he, him, like masculine pronouns. Non-binary doesn't mean I'm neither male. I
But
don't
that's what-
identify.
see, that's
I
what
mean,
I
it means
thought-
I identify somewhere in the middle, and so they'll say their pronouns are he, blah blah blah, blah she, her, blah blah blah, or they, them.
So then they can have everything. So not everything, but they can like it. There's not a real term that that you can't call Elliot, or is he more on like the masculine side of the
I
terms?
guess.
So to give an example of like what happens, like when somebody says non-binary, there's a bunch of different definitions that everybody, like each individual person kind of has their own definition of what non-binary means.
Okay.
So like to use something that's a little easier, like when somebody says that someone is homophobic, like the actual definition of homophobic would be fear of homosexuals. But that's not usually how the term is actually used.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like people aren't afraid of them.
Is it
But
appropriate
that's
to
why
ask
it makes
people-
it difficult because it's not, the definitions aren't necessarily as easy as reading the words and knowing what the words mean.
I've also come to this understand. Like, is it appropriate to ask a transgender person these kind of questions?
Yes.
Because it seems like I'm told
What?
that it's not
Oh,
appropriate.
I thought you said no. I'm like, wait.
Oh,
what?
no,
Well, that's
yeah.
the thing is like there's a side of it that I only see, and the only side I see is it's not appropriate to ask. But like, well, how am I supposed to know
Yeah,
this? I don't
I'm like-
understand.
I've said before. I'm like, I'm a raised Catholic white Christian. I don't know anything about this stuff. You tell me. Like,
Well, and that's one of those things where,
Well,
like,
even then, like,
the thing is that if somebody gets offended by you asking them how not to offend them, they have a problem. That's not your problem. Like,
I mean,
if you're like,
yeah.
hey, listen, I don't want to offend you. Please help me understand. And they say, well, you're.
I
a
just realized I
jackwad.
said,
that's their problem.
raised Catholic white Christian. By Christian, I
you
meant
were raised white.
by that I meant
You were born.
I was raised Catholic, straight white guy.
There you go. You're
So I know nothing.
Wait, what?
I'm as milquetoast as they come.
milk toast.
No, that's milquetoast means that you don't have hard opinions.
Is that
That's
what
how that reference is used. Like if you're a
I thought it just meant bland.
if you're a milquetoast
I think
fence
it just
sitter.
means if you're bland.
What an exciting
Like,
episode of pop culture unboxing this is. We're really unboxing.
We've actually
pop
talked
culture.
more about pop culture in this episode than we had in any of the previous ones.
Well,
which
it's-
lends credence to my theory that Zach keeps us on track.
Well, it was. Well, I mean, it is
Have
pop
we?
culture because it's Ellen
true.
Elliot Page.
It all comes around.
What
You know where
comes
the
around?
term milquetoast comes from? A cartoon character
Because it's milk toast.
by the name of Casper Milquetoast.
No way. You're lying.
I'm not.
That is funny. For those of you that don't know, Matt is showing Ryan on the laptop what is going on here.
all
Did you?
comes,
No.
it
you
all
planned
comes
that.
full circle.
No, you planned
Google
that.
it. You Google
planned that.
you Google milk toast. MILQUE toast.
But yeah, so usually when somebody calls someone a milk toast fence sitter, it means that they're not taking a hard opinion on a stance.
I've always understood milk toast to
What
just mean
in
bland or
the-
boring.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of.
It all
Agreed.
comes. It's
You know
all
what? No.
circular.
No. You are correct. Bland or boring is correct. I'm thinking the fence
Yeah.
sitting.
As a
along-
noun,
I'm
it's
so used to hearing it together. I
As
kind
a
of
noun,
blended
it's a
the
timid or feeble person. As an adjective, it's feeble, insipid, or bland.
bland. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was wrong on
Which
that one.
I feel like insipid and bland are not words to describe me. Now that I think about it,
I'm actually gonna write a book called Words and Definitions.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm
Are
actually
you gonna change your name to Webster?
like that's an actual thing. Oh no, I'm not gonna change my definitions when somebody brings up a well, no, I'll keep that out of the podcast.
Okay.
I don't understand.
Ryan is having a conniption right now.
So just real quick, Matt, maybe you can explain this to me. Why is Casper a thing? I don't know. I'm not
Because he just
understanding.
said that he misread Kaspersky as Casper Sky.
Oh,
Like
literally
so
just
that's
told
why
the
they're going to
story
send you
earlier.
Casper. I thought there was more to that, and like why people would send him Casper memes. I was like,
No.
why would you
This
send
is
him a
worse than
Casper
Sprite
meme?
Which is why
Cranberry.
I said that it didn't cross my mind until he brought it up of bringing up Casper memes.
Maybe it's just because like I'm not used to the internet and the way that people troll each other. Where I'm just like, oh, it was an honest mistake.
It's
The guy
worse
was
than-
trying to learn, and like everyone else is like, you know what? We can make fun of him for it.
Dude, it's worse than Sprite Cranberry to me. Casper stuff, worse than Sprite Cranberry.
Oh, was that the LeBron one where everyone was like, what on earth is going on with this?
Yeah, I can't.
wanna find-
I can't stand like the words like, oh, well, you know the commercial, Sprite Cranberry. I can't stand it. Can't stand it.
Why is there no crossover art of Casper Milquetoast and Casper the Friendly Ghost?
They rhyme.
Oh, it's Caspar and Casper.
Oh,
Milquetoast is
Caspar.
Caspar.
we're all good.
But you're not getting away with this.
It's not the same person.
It's you're getting these memes.
Is it just gonna be you? It's just
It might
gonna-
be me.
You're gonna make a bunch of Twitter accounts and just send it to
My life's a meme.
our Reddit's gonna start.
Speaking of pop culture stuff, I need everyone listening to this show right now to go follow me on Twitch at Jan Jinkle, all one word, because I am really this close to being affiliate, and it's
If-
awesome.
Oh, cool.
So I have an actual challenge for our fans. I
Yeah?
would like them to tell me something.
Oh, interactions. That's cool.
Yeah, interactions. I would actually like you to actively
Where can they talk to you?
go
Where can
out,
they talk to you?
Instagram or Twitter, whatever. Right, Red Steak Ryan everywhere.
Okay.
That's awesome.
But I actively want everyone to come talk to me and answer the one question: if I started live streaming my miniature painting, would anyone come watch and hang out with me and talk to me?
That'd be fun.
If you would, just let me know.
So like,
'Cause I'm
what's
starting to
what's the
move it.
format? Is it going to be like ask Ryan a question while he paints and then you answer it,
Yeah,
or is
it's
it
just
just going to
gonna be
be
just
like
talking.
Ryan rants
It's
about
basically just
random
talking. Like you can ask,
remedial?
well, the way I look is like you ask a question, and if I don't understand it, I just keep going until I say something that gets me canceled. That's like that's the way I
Solid
look at
plan.
it.
Well, it was funny on my way
I
over
think
here
that's how the
today.
internet works nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, on my way
I
over
think
here
I already
today,
did it with this episode.
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend, I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go record. I'm gonna make sure we get canceled today." And oddly enough, we're talking about pretty much anything that could get you canceled.
No, we're
Putting
not.
kids in-
We're
kids in
uncancel-
boxes
We're
and-
uncancelable now.
He can cut it out though if he doesn't want it.
I'm not cutting out anything.
You're a monster.
It's all here to stay.
You're a monster.
Listen, if you didn't want it out on the internet, you shouldn't have said it.
Well, we still haven't put it out on the internet yet. So
Not yet. So I mean, I guess
I
you
could
guys
say
could try to
something
beat
like-
me up and delete my laptop, but like, if you really didn't want it to go out,
have you seen me?
yeah, just now. What's up?
I'm threatening
right
to the
in front of
children that I put in boxes. I'm not threatening to anybody else.
I bet you could take
I think
Ryan.
I broke Ryan.
I bet you could take Ryan.
I don't know why. I'm just getting this like this this wave of just regret has hit me.
Why?
I think it's
You wanna
because
talk about it?
I think it's because we're doing this show. I think
And?
I don't think I want to do the show anymore. I think I quit.
This episode or just
No,
in
I think
general?
the show. I think I
Why?
quit. I don't belong here.
Why not?
I don't know.
We're not ending the episode on that. I refuse. Ryan, you're not
music
going to quit
fades.
because I won't let you.
So
You're
you should do one bit of editing, which is after he says that, at the end of that pause, just start the music, and then halfway through the music, just be like, "Hold on, no, we're not ending on this note."
You just make the sound of a door slamming shut. Like I got up and walked away.
Yeah.
Left you guys in
Ryan
my
won't
house.
abandon us. He knows.
so
He
funny.
knows that it won't go well for him.
What?
Just remember, you're here forever.
Okay.
If you die on the podcast, you die in real life.
Is that Spy Kids or Matrix reference? Spy
Both?
Kids. Spy Kids. Because you.
No, it's a Tron reference.
Yeah, but it's also Spy Kids.
Is it?
No, it's also
Yeah, because
Matrix.
remember they jump into the 3D world,
Yeah.
the video game. Yeah, they
If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's also Matrix. If you die in the simulation, you die in real life.
Wow. And I've heard if you die in Canada, you
Well,
die in real life
turns
too.
out. Well, yeah, that's true.
But they, I'll be good. Because
I
I,
mean,
I think
do you
both
want
of
to
you looked at me as soon
alienate
as
a
I
whole
said
country from our.
that. No, nothing wrong with
At
Canada.
this point,
other
we've
than
already
your crazy
alienated
prime minister.
a whole group of people from our podcast.
How?
Why not we talk the trans stuff? Probably
How?
we probably offended
not gonna-
somebody.
That's your
Well,
problem.
let's-
Is you always think you're offending someone.
That's because I'm so scared.
What
of
is your
life.
famous statement
I was gonna
that
say
you stole also, but about funny?
It's
Oh,
all
yeah.
funny or it's all funny or none at all. Or none of
Something like that,
It's
yeah.
all funny or none of
No,
it's
you
funny.
said didn't you say that your goal as a comedian was to offend people, and if you've offended someone, it's
Oh.
actually comedy?
Oh yeah, no. It's like if I've offended someone, that means more people are talking about me than they did when I was funny.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how it works.
I think the best part of that quote is that I got you good with that. I am the comedian after your aristocrats joke.
Yeah, all. Oh,
For those of you that don't know, I don't really find the aristocrats joke funny, and
See,
Brian
everyone's
got so mad
Here's
at me.
the thing: anyone that's listening has no idea about me telling the aristocrats joke, so now they're all going to Google it. And then
Try
what's
and
going to
find it.
happen is they're like, now I want to hear how it
See,
went.
this is how you're gonna blow up. You just
Yeah.
hold it.
How-
You hold enough of
we're
it
all
back where they're like, "Ooh, I want more."
We're all going to be famous because they're all going to want to give us money so they can just hear the
They can hear it.
aristocrats joke, and then when they're disappointed, they'll want their money back.
Hey,
Do
you
you
guys want to talk about
do-
something pop culture?
Yeah, let's go.
Wait, hold on. Can I do one thing?
Yes.
Do you want to do a challenge where if we reach a certain number, we will release the aristocrats joke? Pick a number.
10,000.
I can't turn that down either.
Pick
Actually, no,
any
I guess
number.
Ryan has to pick the number.
I can't turn that down. Are you actually challenging me?
Let's do it. It doesn't have to necessarily like you can put constraints on it. You can make it a year. You can say in 1 year if we make $50,000 on Patreon, I'll release it. You can make it 10 years. You can make it $1 million with no time limit. Like what constraints do you want?
See,
on,
this would be better
on the challenge.
You have more chance of it happening if we had more listeners, but all right. What this is December, right? December?
Yeah, this is December of 2020.
Okay. All right. If we have how many listeners do we have regularly now? It's like 15,
It's about 20.
20?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you all.
If some possible way we get at least 5,000 listeners by December of 2021,
Okay.
and we're all still like each other and we're all still doing this podcast, I'll personally tell the aristocrat joke on a live stream, or we can release it either way. Or what we could do, we'll release it and we'll sit there and live reaction to it for everyone.
Sounds
Okay.
good. So can we say next week's podcast we will finalize whatever the terms are of this
So
and put it out there?
So this releases on the 3rd. So I guess December 3rd of 2021. If we have not hit 5,000
Followers.
like active listeners and talking to us, then I will.
You heard it, guys. If you want to hear Ryan ruin his career before it starts, start sharing.
We'll release it. We'll do a live stream of me listening to me tell the joke.
Sounds good. So Matt, what kind of pop culture did you find?
I'm glad you've asked. So I just saw this on my Reddit feed because I like to check it once in a while during the show, just to get some inspiration, maybe.
We have a
as
Reddit
Ryan would put it, steal stuff. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Hugh Keys Byrne has died today at 73. He was famously Immortan Joe in Mad Max Fury Road. The villain, and also the villain in the first Mad Max.
Oh wow!
So he's dead. So pour one out.
You said
may
that
he
in
ride
such
eternal.
a weird way. It's like he's dead. Now
Yeah.
pour one out.
I'm sorry.
May he ride eternal, shiny and chrome.
The way you said,
I thought you said ride a turtle, and I was like, did he know Mitch McConnell?
Wow, there's layers there.
Hey,
why,
this podcast is on
The
the
way you
internet. If
said
somebody
that-
didn't get that, that's their fault.
the way you said like he's dead, I thought you were just immediately going to go anyway, and all I could think of was the Jeremy Clarkson meme, like, oh no. Well, anyway.
I almost did. But I mean, he was the villain in like one of the best movies ever made. So,
I think
and if
that
you don't think that Mad Max Fury Road is one of the best movies ever made, I don't trust your critiques on movies.
Never seen it.
Really?
No.
Oh my god!
you know what my favorite.
We need to have
Incredible movie.
Here's what we should do. We should have another guys' night where we
Okay.
watch a film and then we review it. Basically, let's bring back Remember That Time, except instead of it being about past movies, it's just whatever we felt like watching.
And maybe you'll start remembering the actual name that we came up with. It was remember
Remember
that one about.
Oh, remember
Even
that
he
one about-
remembers
I
it.
remembered
He wasn't even on the show.
Yeah.
No, you got to understand. I was so nervous to put my voice out there for the first time because I was like, I'm gonna put something on the like. I don't tweet. I don't put things out on Facebook.
It's a
Like,
pretty
I don't-
nerve-wracking experience.
And I'm sitting there and like all I can think of is I'm gonna get canceled on day one. Here it comes. And I was
Here's
like,
a
oh wait,
question.
no,
Here's a
like
good
nobody
question.
cares about
Do you
me.
still feel that? Do you still feel the fear?
Not anymore.
Oh man, sometimes.
But it's
I
also
do.
one of those things
Do you?
where I've kind of come to grips with the idea that like if somebody wants to come after me for a genuine opinion, like get over yourself.
Well, I think it's the fact that when you said there was like 20 listeners, that's a lot because I don't know the 20 listeners because you don't know who they are, so
Yeah.
you don't know who's listening to you, and that adds like a weird layer because it could literally be anyone.
Well, and I was gonna say
and
like,
also the world's crazy. It could be someone that heard our voice and just like, I want to murder those people. Like, and come to knock on my door and kill me.
well, that's one of those things where I've kind of learned like the world is dangerous anyway, so you might as well be honest, and then when you're wrong, admit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
So
that's a good-
I'd rather be honest and dumb, and then someone say, "Hey, you're being stupid," and then
That's kind of how
change
the
my
show
way
started.
than not know.
That's kind of how we ended up doing this show. Is like we're gonna die someday. We're both not getting younger. We're like we can either keep doing this podcast and never succeed, or never succeed or fail or something. But we're not gonna know that until we try. So
Yeah,
like, what are we
100%.
doing? Like honestly, I'm very comfortable with the only 20 listeners and only one fan that messages me daily.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with that for the rest of my life. Because this is fun. I love doing this, and I feel like we all three grow as friends too. It seems like I know you
yeah.
guys. I look at you two more as brothers now than I did when we first started doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to with you.
He's no choice.
I sat in a car with you for an 8-hour car ride.
That's another story that I think is on at least 2 pre-shows.
I was gonna
I'll
say, isn't
release
it-
one of those.
Yeah.
Those are getting
I was gonna
released.
say,
If I'm
isn't it-
going down, you're going down with me.
Here's the problem: is that I'm the editor and you're not.
I was gonna say, isn't it odd how we pick friends?
Yeah.
Like my best friend from high school, he was homeschooled until his freshman year of high school, and I was trying to gain weight for wrestling, and like I had like a bag of chips that I was eating just because like I was constantly trying to find something to eat, and that's all I had. And he's just kind of sitting in the corner. I walked over and I was like, "Hey, you want a chip?" And he's like, "Sure." We were best friends ever since. It was so stupid. It was like, "Hey, you want a chip?" It's like, "Okay, that's it." It's
Yeah.
like we're together till the end.
Yeah,
He just happened to be sitting next to me when I realized there was a concert I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And I knew that he kind of liked adjacent music. So I said, hey, Ryan, you
I
want to go
said
to
I
a
think-
concert?
I think that me and you though was kind of a fate thing because the fact that you asked me to go to a concert, that is the one and only time I've never bailed on something so big. That was such a big plan with someone I don't know.
Yeah.
If anything, it's more shocking that I even showed up. Or
Here's my thing with that is I don't think we were as unfamiliar with each other as you claim we were. I think we were pretty acquainted at that point,
I didn't.
but we weren't really friends.
Well, we talked, but I didn't know anything about you.
Yeah.
Because you got
the way
hired.
you tell the story, it sounds like I had just came into that room, never seen you before, and said,
I mean, you practically did to me. Actually, because the only other interaction that I really had that was memorable with you was a bad one. Because even though because the yum yum sauce.
yeah,
because
that story has been
yeah.
told before too.
I actually just told that story again today.
Did
at
you
work.
really?
That's
Yeah,
funny.
because I was like, I just realized there's nobody at work left that remembers the yum yum sauce story.
That is so funny.
But that's the thing is like the only the only memory I had of you at the time that was memorable was the fact that you made me chug yum yum sauce and I threw up everywhere.
That's so funny.
I was
You're saying the stars literally aligned for this?
that's the thing is like I think that whatever happened, it was that yum yum sauce. Like it
Yeah.
was like wish granting yum yum sauce. You asked
granting
you
yum
asked
yum
for like you asked for like you were like I need help. I want to be an internet celebrity. Give it to me. Bring me a sign, God. And it was just like it glue like the Dragon Balls, and I came out of the sky like I'm here to drink that.
Like I'm out of the sky, you came down the stairs.
Yeah, because I did go down the stairs. I still like the fact that the biggest part of that story that makes me angrier is the fact that one person in that whole group said, ask Beatty to do it. He'll do anything.
See, that was more fate coming in.
And there wasn't even money involved at that point.
Yeah,
It's just
that
like
is
Beatty will
funny.
do anything for anyone's approval. Like,
I think one of the
And
weirdest.
now we're
trips-
here.
now we're here.
Let's see. One of
Now
the
I
weirdest,
could never see my life anywhere else.
Yeah.
I can't ever see myself
Yeah.
having different friends.
Well, I think one of the weirdest like friends trips that I had, because I kind of had a similar thing with you guys. I got tickets to go see Jordan Peterson with my girlfriend, and because my idea of a hot date is like, hey babe, let's go see a clinical psychologist.
I really wish I would.
So I ordered tickets, and I ordered the ones where we actually got to go see him. There's a picture out there with me somewhere next to him, and right before it was like 3 days before we went, my girlfriend goes, I just realized that my show is this weekend, and I can't make it. So I went to work, and Cliff, I think Ryan knows Cliff.
I know who Cliff is.
Like I barely knew him, but I knew that he had listened to some of Peterson's stuff, and I was like, hey, do you want to go to Virginia and go meet Jordan Peterson? And he went, all right. So it's like I knew this guy for like a week, and like we drove down to Virginia, and then me not paying attention, my girlfriend had got the hotel. Well, it's a 1-bed hotel room. And I'm like, I swear I'm not trying to take you away from your fiance here. This honestly was a date for us. And he's like, you set up a date with your girlfriend to go to a clinical psychologist. I was like, I am not very fun.
I am not a fun person to be around.
I was like, you gotta understand, like, I really like the articulation that this guy has put on ideas. So I was like, I'd actually like to meet him.
So
You know what's
wait,
really
hold
bad?
on. So did you guys sleep in the same bed?
Well, yeah, there was no other beds.
Okay, good answer.
Well, what's really funny about stuff like little things like that, I've already see that in like if we ever get big enough that we could have like a TV show, I can see that being like an episode in the show, like a skit, a side thing that
Something like
happens in
that.
the show is like Zach doesn't get to show up for the episode of Pop Culture Unboxing because he has to go to a trip, and that's one of the things. Like I joke it, he says like I'm not a very fun person to be around.
I just imagine like an office style cutaway.
Yeah.
Here's
like-
okay. Wait. So here's what I'm picturing now. What's he gonna be like at Gen Con?
He's gonna stand out so bad.
Oh God! I feel like I was just volunteered for something I didn't know I was volunteered for.
You should have known when you came on this show. Gen
if
Con
we
is our
ever
ritual.
go back, when are we gonna go back?
We're going next year.
Oh, you guys are going next year?
There's no way like it lasts that long.
I would
Like we all said,
there's 3 different
back
vaccines.
back in like March.
I would love to go back.
All right,
but I think
guys,
if I'm
it's
going
week
to Disney.
month 8 of our 2-week quarantine.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely want to go next year.
Yeah, I think
I do
it'll probably
too, just
open up
'cause
next year.
Now that I do the miniature painting thing, and I've passed so many cool miniatures when I was there last time, but
Yeah.
I can't.
Do you want to get
They
a
have
booth?
contests
And,
for painting there.
I'm not that good yet.
do
Yeah.
you want to get a booth and sell them?
No.
Why not?
I'm not that good.
And
Also, that's like removes all the fun of the weekend.
listen, if there's a lady that can sit there and sell you a bunch of pretty rocks and tell them that it's going to cure your cancer, you can sell your painted miniatures.
Well,
I think that's what
not
I'll
they-
tell people
That's
about
not what
it.
they do there. They sell you pretty rocks that control your fate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can
Or-
sell the painted
I
miniatures.
will say this. I want to go into that booth that me and who Zach. Me and
Yeah,
Zach.
me?
Not you, the other Zach that we replaced.
Not Zach.
with you.
We replaced you, but we kept a Zach so that
There was
we
like
didn't
so
change
there
the
was
branding.
there was a Zach
the
model.
branding.
Yeah, it was easier to say Zach, but
We went with the moral Zach
there was,
rather
like-
than the other Zach.
there was like this like hidden secret tent in the middle of of the thing, and it was about like it was 18 and up only. And Zach and I passed so often. We're like, I'm almost certain because it was like a cosplay thing. I was like, I'm almost certain. I looked at it. It was like, I'm almost certain that there are strippers in the middle of this thing, and there's a strip club set up in the middle of Gen Con this year. And he's just like, there's no way. I was like, why is it they're screening everyone? And everyone's coming in with frowns, coming up with happy faces, and it's all men. What do you think is going on in there? And then we never went in, but I did. We passed by the doorway because it was a tent, and they would open a tent. And it turns out it's literally this is how like nerdy and kind of sad some men can be. They were all going in to buy prints of these like cosplayers as like characters, but they were like adult photos. I was like, these people, wait, what? And they were like, some of them on the prices on the outside were like $60-$70. I was like, yeah, what?
So I have one question. You got all that detail out of a flapping tent?
No, we walked. No,
I think you went in.
no, we saw the pictures on the back, but on the wall they had on like the wall next to like one of the girls who does like they do like a screening, like look at your ID.
Yeah.
And on the thing it said like, $15, $30, $60, $70. And like the only thing Zach and I could come up with is like those are the prints because they have these photos like on the walls like when we were passing by.
Yeah.
So we're like, that's what it has to be. So we're like, there are people really spending $70 for prints. Then I realized after we left the con, I was like, we just spent $30 on prints. So it's like, I guess it's the same.
Unless they're not
I've
paying
never
for prints.
understood that. Like,
Well, that's the thing. I
And
think
there's
it
a-
was, no,
there's-
it was 21. It was 21 and up.
depends. Is he purple or not?
Was it a flying purple people eater? One-eyed, one-horned flying purple people eater?
No.
Maybe they're just selling slaves out of the middle of Gen Con.
What?
That's their like the pictures of the product.
Yeah. Did you consider that?
No,
You just
but
think
I
like a-
hope not.
I'd hope not either.
Well,
Gen Con seems like
I'm-
it's just it was a weird place because
from what you guys have told me, it sounds like there could be some Jabba-looking guys there. So
well the first
they go in, they get their
pretty
they get their
accurate.
Princess Leia, and then
It
they
doesn't
hang out.
smell
I mean,
great.
I go there. Like,
It doesn't smell great there.
not always, no. Which Gen Con is one of those times where I appreciate the fact that I don't have a sense of smell. So
I'm so awkward.
I tell you what, that it's the beginning when you're outside the doors waiting to go in. That's when
I
it's
would
the
also like to
worst.
clarify, my lack of sense of smell has been there for years and years. It is not a result of coronavirus.
What?
Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, that's right. That takes your scent away. Well, how long have we been doing this episode?
About an hour. You want to stop?
Is it an hour?
Yeah.
Oh man, it felt like we were doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I felt like we've been doing this for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Zach.
It's good
It's
to
good
see
to
you.
have
Thank
you.
you. I'm glad to be
We
here.
missed you.
Yeah, that it
This
is
episode-
actually like my schedule got all jacked up when they put me on second shift. I was just like, I can't do podcasts, I can't play poker, I can't do anything. And now I'm like, oh look, I'm back.
But
Like,
that's
this is great
so that's for 2 months, right? It's for 2 months now.
for
a month?
for a month at a time. So like,
That's so dumb. So we get you for a month, and then we're gonna lose you again for another month.
I'm gonna try and figure out something so
Well,
that I can.
I think you
can.
might be surprised to find out that something else will probably change before that happens.
Well, thank you for listening to this one. We'll have Zach
Oh, we're
again
ending
next
it?
week. Yeah, we might as well.
All right, let's end it.
So if you want to find us, you can find us on the internet, all over it. If we ever actually post on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pop Culture Unboxing, you can find me on Twitter at MattRossVO. You can also find me on Twitch at Jan Jinkle. Go ahead and please give me a follow so I can get that affiliate. Nice, juicy. Tell your friends about it. Ryan?
Find me at Red Steak Ryan everywhere. Twitch. Well, seriously on Twitch. Tell me about the miniatures thing. Twitter, Instagram, where you can see some of my miniatures and stuff like that. And also remember, we can get pass this show around, because if you want to hear me tell a joke that's going to end my career, you probably should pass this around and get the audience in. Even if you get disappointed, at least you made it. You stuck to your guns.
You were a part of something.
You were a part of something terrible.
At least you bullied a guy into
ruining his career. Good job.
Zach.
And
Yeah,
don't send me Casper memes. I swear to God.
You just set yourself up as soon as
Yeah,
you
you
said
did.
don't. But yeah, you can find me at little_leaf. That underscore is in person. I am not a female from Brazil.
And that's Lief, correct?
And it's Lief.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Say bye, Ryan.
Bye-bye.
Have fun.
I love you.
Do, 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 do.